Hey cruisers! Welcome to our Father's Day weekend live stream. Special high five to Lori and Zachary for coming into the chat early today and saying hello to me while I powdered my nose and while we got all of our technology all set up. It's great to see everybody here. Let's see who's popping in. Yay, Wesley Christie made it. Wesley Christie was also here yesterday at our special cruise gear live stream where we did a FabFit Fun Box unboxing. That was awesome. So hi again, Wesley. Good to have you back. We're gonna do a lot of fun things today, you guys. We're going to ask you to share some fun ideas of ways to make a cruise special for the men in your life. So we'd love to hear from you when you check in if you have any good ideas, because this is kind of our Father's Day theme today. And the second thing we're gonna do today that's new and different is if you follow me on social media, you probably noticed that I asked my husband to pull 5 things that he thinks are essential for every cruise, and he has not told me what they are. He's going to surprise me, show them to me, and show them to you, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it so we can get a guy's perspective on things that he packs for a cruise. So before we get into all that, I want to remind everyone that this episode today is sponsored by thewonderfulcruiseline.com. And as you know, you can find reviews, tips, and photos there. But one of the awesome things about the reviews, you guys, that I think is so awesome is they're totally unfiltered. So you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. The other thing I wanted to share with you, and I think most of you already know this, but I want to remind you that you can interact with the reviewer by commenting on the review, which is really cool. You can also comment on people's photos, so be sure to check that out. Let's see who's here. I want to go ahead and jump into the chat. I'm seeing a lot of people coming in. Halsey Roberts said it is hot in Canada today. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's hot everywhere, right? It's hot in California too. We've been running our air conditioning all morning in hopes that we would not get all toasty like we did yesterday when we did our cruise gear unboxing. So Selena is here from the Bahamas. Hello, Becky, Kelly and Christine, Matilda, Air Force Chick, Bonnie Lee from Portland, Rock Girl is back. Hi Rock Girl, you're back. Let's see, Sean, the Recon 1A, sup. Mikey Photos, hey, you're back, nice to see ya. Mike and Cheryl, of course, you're here, yay. Who else do we have? Leah from Croatia. Leah, that is so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us from Croatia. I would love to hear what time it is over there today. Who else do we have here? Oh my goodness sakes, I'm seeing a lot of different areas of the country as usual. Bonnie's here. Hi Princess, woof, back at ya. Irene from Chicago, Alicia, Stubby. Who else? Kimberly Buchanan, Cruise Addicts. Well, hello, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. So great to have you here. Matt Barter, Audrey. Audrey, you did spell my name right. Good job. Christina, Scott, Denisha's here. Ron is here. Ron is back in action. Tammy's here. Denara, Brandy, Carla, Rhonda. We're having a good turnout today, you guys. This is exciting. Q-Tran, Pete, Koodle One. Oh my goodness sakes. And of course we have Zachary and Laura. Is it Lori? It was Lori who was the first to arrive today. So welcome everybody. If I've missed you, I'm sure you're just coming in right now. We'll be sure to catch you all very, very soon. So the question that we'd like to pose to all of you today so we can get a really fun dialogue going is for you to share some fun ideas of ways to make a cruise special for the man in your life. Love to hear what you guys think. Some of the ideas that I've heard before are to get couples massages, which I think would be really cool. My husband's not a big massage guy, but I've suggested it to some other people before, and I think it could be a really neat thing. Somebody here in the chat a moment ago, I think made the suggestion that you could take them on a fishing excursion, and that is so awesome. In fact, I was actually just telling my hairdresser today that when she goes to Cabo that she should take her boyfriend sport fishing. So I think that's an awesome excursion tip for a man. Very, very cool idea. Let's see if anybody else has tips for special things to do for a guy on a cruise. Bonnie is asking a question. You mentioned you can get tips on cruiseline.com, but I can't find them anywhere. Where do I look? Bonnie Lee, what I'm going to do is after the live stream is saved to replay, because I want that comment to save, I'm going to write the instructions in the comments below. So we won't do it right now live because we're going to lose all of our chat comments today, but I'll explain it to you a little bit later. It's really cool. It's actually tips, generally speaking, on the ship. itself. So I'll be sure to get those for you, okay? Thank you for asking. That's an awesome question. I love it. I like Kyle's suggestion to let the husband go deep sea fishing while the wife shops. That's awesome. Kimberly is suggesting getting them a gift card to buy them a few beers or drinks instead of getting the drink package. Brandy said relaxing on deck with a bucket of beer. Her hubby would like that. That's a good one, Brandy. Keep it simple, right? Carla suggests getting a drink package. Paula's husband says comedy, blackjack, and karaoke. Simple man. I like it. Paula, all one word. Comedy, blackjack, and karaoke. Irene Garcia says, don't bring the kids. That's really funny. Mike and Cheryl say, for the man in your life, it has to be golf. Another awesome one. Stubby says, a couple's massage with champagne. Wesley Christie says, how about a mani-pedi? Hey, there's lots of guys out there that like those. How about a cruise and land tour in Alaska? Yeah, that sounds great to me. Let's see, what else do we have? Comedy club, booking another cruise. Awesome ideas, you guys. Oh, Teresa Gregory says her husband is a certified diver, so she'd probably get him a diving excursion for Father's Day. That is awesome. Okay, ooh, I like this. Miss Lawson 33 says his own bottle of scotch or tequila in the room. That is a great idea. And on most cruise ships, you can just order the bottle before you sail and they'll have it waiting for you. I'm sure it'd be expensive, but hey, what a nice idea. That's a splurge. Okay, let's see here. Bonnie said that the guys she's cruised with seem to be thrilled to have steak every night for dinner. That is awesome. I love it. Tammy says she's sending her hubby and brother-in-law surf fishing. What's surf fishing? Like fishing in the surf. Okay. How about seeing wildlife in Alaska? That's Becky's suggestion. Sandra says go-karts. Chris says being on the cruise is good enough for him. Chris, that's how you sound like my husband. That's exactly what he say. Being with you, being on the cruise, whatever. It's all good enough for me. That's really sweet. Ooh, Cruise Addicts has a really good suggestion. Halibut fishing in Alaska. That sounds amazing. So I wonder, Cruise Addicts, do you then get to eat the halibut? I guess if you're on a cruise, if you're on Princess, I know that they will cook up your catch for you. They actually have a cook your catch program, but I'd love to hear how you would do that. Let's see here. All right. Anthony says casino and active excursions in the Caribbean. Halsey Roberts says a romantic breakfast on the balcony. Adrian's got to run because you don't have Wi-Fi. Bye, Adrian. We'll see you later. Catch the replay. Sounds wonderful. Zachary, I like the way you think. Zachary suggests something very creative. A nice stateroom instead of the regular stateroom you normally get. So kind of like an upgrade. That's an excellent, excellent tip. And it's kind of thinking outside the box. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Rory says, I've bought a new toiletries bag stocked and dress clothes for my husband for Father's Day for his first cruise next month. Rory, tell us what was in your man toiletry bag. What kind of things did you put in there? I love it. Let's see here. Bonnie Lee, I like this. I don't insist that he dress up every night. And that's a very nice suggestion. If your man doesn't want to dress up every night, on pretty much every cruise out there, there's an alternative, right? Awesome. Matt Moss is a new subscriber going on their first cruise next year. Welcome. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Ginny is here and says that they travel with 6 couples and the guys love to compete in the sports tournaments and the girls cheer them on. That is adorable. I love that. Adrian's suggesting a specialty restaurant if the man in your life is a foodie. Excellent one. Very good. Anthony says, I personally enjoy more cruise days instead of rushing around in port. Do you mean sea days, Anthony? That's so true. I know that that's always a nice, relaxing thing to do. My husband kind of likes sea days too, for the most part. Okay, Becky has a good one here. Buy him the camera coffee cup from the cruise gear store. My husband loves it. Becky, yes, I love that thing too. And that reminds me, I should tell you guys what episodes that we have produced in the last week or so. Over on our Cruise Gear channel, we did review an awesome Lens coffee mug. I should have brought it with me, darn it. Maybe later when the chat kind of dies down, I'll have my husband go get it. And it actually holds coffee, any other hot beverage, cold beverage, etc. And it is the coolest thing ever. And yes, we do have them for sale in our Cruise Gear store. Thank you for that, Becky. That's a great suggestion. Let's see here. What other tips do we have? Carolyn, very good suggestion. Having the room decorated and drinks waiting. Very nice. Bonnie Lee said for their Mediterranean cruise next year, she got him a spacious balcony instead of a regular stateroom. See, I'm loving that. I love that. That's awesome. Very, very good. What else do we have here? Oh my gosh, who's saying rent a Harley? Kyle Smith says if you're going to Cozumel, you can rent a Harley. Last time, you guys did it when you were there, and it's a great way to get around. Kyle, do you remember how much that cost? I know that's a personal question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I would love to hear. Bonnie said that their neighbors did the game show, the Newlywed Game or the Not So Newlyweds Game, and they got a DVD of it, and that's hysterical. That is so great. Let's see here. All right, Maritza got her hubby some polo shirts. Coodle One says, bring the kids and have them handle all the carry-ons. You guys are so funny today. I love it. That is awesome. Cruise Addicts is saying that yes, mugs, but he never used it because he always thought it was a lens when he saw, yeah, it is too lifelike. I don't really know how they produce them for $12 that lifelike. It's pretty crazy. Actually, I want to take mine to work and see if I can trip people out with it and like, I don't know. I'll have to see how it goes, but I'm going to think of some kind of a practical joke with it, Zachary, and see what I can do. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Harper's Ferry has a suggestion for making the cruise for the man in your life better. If the kids are old enough, get them their own cabin. Yeah, that's always a nice idea. I know because, you know, there's not a lot of space in those cabins. And I know when our son was younger, if we were still awake, he wouldn't go to sleep. He was sensitive to the light and he was sensitive to anything going on around him. And it was like, oh my gosh, you need to be in another room like you are at home. But it's better now because he just conks out at night and we don't have to worry. All right, Wesley has a really sweet thing to say. Wesley Christie is 13 years old and is saving up money to take her dad on his dream cruise to Alaska, and is 13. I just called you her. You'll have to tell me if you're a female. Please forgive me if I got the wrong pronoun there. So I think my husband might have some questions coming in that he wants to share with me. What do you have?
We're actually losing the stream.
We're losing the stream.
We may have lost it. Oh,
okay.
There it goes.
Okay, do we lose you guys for a moment there? Well, hopefully we're back. Oh, looks like somebody said we're back. Thank you very much, you guys. Trista says, just give him a beer and tell him to go to cruises. You have so many opportunities to do that. Stream is back. Sometimes this happens. As you know, YouTube is crazy unpredictable, but are we cutting out again? Okay. We're not sure why we're cutting out here, guys. Wesley Christie, you're a boy. I'm sorry about that. It looks like we're lost again. Is there anything we can do to make it better? Do you think do you want to turn off your mic or disconnect it?
It's not the mic.
Okay, they're all saying it's buffering now. Sorry, guys. Not coming back?
No.
Should we start it over? We're back now? Back? They're saying we're back. We can't see if we're back, you guys. Seems good again. Everybody says we're back up and running. Huh. My husband can't see me on the screen, so I'm gonna wait 2 more seconds. But you guys are all saying you can see me, right? Okay, well, they saw me typing, so we must be back. All right, let's read some more of these comments. You guys are so good about keeping me posted. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Angela has a question for us. Sherry, I'm sailing on the Carnival Miracle next month. Any tips? Have to get back to work, but it was the first live stream. Okay, Angela, tip number 1, watch our vlogs. We've just published our day 3 vlog for the Carnival Miracle. So I'll give you my top 3 tips right now, and then you can watch the vlogs and get more. Number 1, go to Nick and Nora's Steakhouse on night 1 because you'll get a free bottle of wine of your choice. So you can get a bottle of white or a bottle of red. And it is a really wonderful way to kick off your cruise, so I highly recommend that you do that. Number 2 tip for Carnival Miracle is go to the sail away party. It's really fun and lively and upbeat and happy and great. Number 3, don't expect the pools to be warm. That is not a tip, but they were really cold, so I don't want you to be disappointed on your cruise. So anyway, hope that those tips help you. Please keep watching our vlogs, and you're gonna get a lot more tips on that. We did an amazing excursion in Cabo, and I can't say enough about it. It's called Cabo Sailing, and it was something that we just absolutely loved and would love to do again. Okay, Halsey Robert has a question. When cruising, what can you do on sea days if you don't want to spend a lot of money in port on excursions? Can you just go to the beach for free? I think what you meant is on port days, what can you do? If you stay on the ship, do they still have activities? So yes, if you stay on the ship, there are tons of activities and you kind of have the ship all to yourself. At least it'll be a lot more quiet, okay? So that's something that you can absolutely enjoy. But most ports, Caribbean, Mexico, you can definitely take a taxi cab to a beach, and that's an excellent alternative. In fact, we do that a lot of the time. You'll notice that in our Carnival Miracle vlogs that we took a taxi over to Medano Beach. We spent maybe a total of $40 on food, a bucket of beer, and we got beachfront loungers the whole day. Cab ride was maybe $12 per direction. So there's even cheaper ways to do it. You could go back and eat your lunch on the ship. You could, avoid buying food out. There's always something to do. But we do recommend you do something. Take a cab somewhere, do something, go to a beach, get out of the little port area, because 99% of the time it is just not going to give you a good representation of what is in port. So let's see here. Stacy Dorsey says, when will we see the 4th video for the Miracle vlog? They are great. Stacy, thank you very much for that. I would imagine you're probably going to see the next one on Thursday. Editing these has been quite difficult for us because we've had so many videos to edit lately, and we had a lot of technical problems with the iMovie program that I normally edit with on my phone. So we had to transfer all of the footage to my husband's computer, and now he's editing them in Final Cut Pro like he normally does, so it's taking a little bit longer. So that'll be coming soon. And by the way, that 4th vlog, Stacy, is probably my favorite of the whole cruise. That was the second day in Cabo, when we went on that sailing excursion with Cabo Sailing, and it was fantastic. Okay, let's see here. Bonnie wants to know if our Cabo sailing was on a catamaran. No, it was not a catamaran, but they do offer those. Maritza wants to know what I think about Trump and Cuba. Maritza, it's too soon to tell. It could potentially affect cruises to Cuba if there are some limitations put on that, but I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to ever get into anything political on this channel. It's just not about that. But as it relates to cruising, we'll keep you posted, and let's keep an eye on that, okay? Because yeah, it could definitely change if you're a U.S. provider providing a service to Cuba. That could change. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep the dialogue going, okay? Let's see here. Ooh, Linda has another tip for the men in your life. Onboard credits so husband can watch movies in the cabin. Gifts for newlyweds, wine and strawberries in the room, or gift ahead couples massage. Contact the cruise line. Awesome, very good. Okay, let's see. What is, Cowboy Butler said, what is the current term status of travel via cruise lines, US to Cuba? Everything is still on for now, Cowboy Butler. As far as I know, they have not ceased any sailings to Cuba, if that is what you're asking me. However, remember that you still have to travel to Cuba under the very strict cultural exchange laws. The cruise lines will provide you with a visa if that is something that you'd like to pay them to do, or you can get your own. It is very complicated. You cannot just go to Cuba and have a beach day. You must have some sort of person-to-person or cultural exchange when you go there. So you've got to be aware of that if you're going to Cuba. But for now, nothing has changed that I'm aware of. Okay, let's see here. Miss Burlady TTC wants to know what airlines we use to get to Miami. None of the low price free bag airlines go there. Yeah, Miami's a little bit expensive to fly into. Now, when we fly from Los Angeles, and our next flight over to Florida is going to be on JetBlue, but we're going to Fort Lauderdale, not Miami. So I'm not too sure. If anybody has any tips on flying to Miami, I don't know where you're flying from, let us know. That would be great. Okay, Maritza, don't be worried about your cruise. Definitely, you are so smart to be thinking about Cuba right now, though, because I really do think that in the next year things could change. So, you're right to be worried, and keep an eye out. But the cruise line is definitely going to communicate with you about Cuba if there are any changes. What they'll probably do, they'll probably keep your sailing and tell you, hey, look, we've got an alternative itinerary for you. If you want to take these ports, you can, or you could probably cancel and get your money back if you want to, Maritza. So hopefully it works out for you, okay? Let's see here. Great. Okay, you guys. Let's see. Okay, Recon 1A has a funny comment about the man in your life. For the man in your life, for God's sake, cut the time and you're getting ready. That's really funny. Yeah, I'm not very high maintenance. I don't take very long to get ready. Do I, honey? Am I a long getting ready person?
Oh, you're perfect.
He said I'm perfect. No, I'm pretty quick. I think I've got it down to about 25 minutes at the very most. Hair, makeup, clothing, and all of that stuff. So I hear you. That's really funny. Okay, Wesley Christie wants us to have hubby get all of the items out. Hubby, where did you put the items? Let's start. What's your number one? You ready for this, by the way?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, hubby's ready. Okay, go ahead.
As long as the stream stays green, then we're going to go with this.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off by saying that, of course, my iPhone, but I'm not even going to really include it on the list, but I have to have it with me. It's just so handy, and it's great for photos and video.
Your iPhone? Okay,
Yeah.
so number one is hubby's iPhone. You want to show, can you hand it to me so I can show it to everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to count that as number one.
Okay.
It goes without saying.
Okay, so hubby's saying that this goes without saying that his iPhone is actually an excellent tool to take on a cruise, but he doesn't want this to be number one. Okay, cool. I like it. So what do you do with your iPhone on a cruise? Everything. Video, pictures.
Cameras. I mean, the camera is surprisingly good. Yeah, I found that in the dining room, nothing really beats the iPhone. I mean, even in my DLS or DSLR.
Yeah. Nothing beats it.
Nothing.
So true. Can you guys hear my hubby okay? So we finally have got the second mic set up. It has been giving us trouble, by the way. So we're a little bit nervous about the second mic, but you guys were always commenting on how you couldn't hear him. So let me know if you can hear him a little bit better today. Okay, I'm ready for your first item, your technical first item. We're not counting the...
Okay, the real official first one is not going to surprise you. What may surprise you is that it's the Hero 4 rather than the 5.
Oh, okay, so the GoPro Hero 4 rather than our GoPro Hero 5. And why the 4 and not the 5?
Well, that's the thing. I love the 5, but it's kind of like you have an old pair of jeans and you go out and buy a new pair and you're like, I really love this new pair, but you're always wearing the old
pair. Jeans. So are you kind of
just
afraid of the Hero 5, the GoPro Hero 5, or is it not really?
No, it's not that. And if you were going to say anything about that, it maybe be about, I'm afraid about messing it up or losing it. But I just love the Hero 4. It's very handy, and I like all the protective cases.
Yeah, exactly. I know I'm kind of accustomed to the protective case on this too. If I'm going to take this and go dive down underwater, this is the one I'm going to take. So you guys, the Hero 5 is something that we invested in the last year or so, but it's waterproof without an enclosure, and it definitely freaks me out to take it underwater without an enclosure. I don't know. So
I
anyway,
really like the 5.
Yeah, we only use this for certain things when we're on a cruise, by the way. This is not our main cruise camera. There are just certain things you do with the GoPro. It's really not meant to film everything. There are people who do film everything with their GoPro, and they do an incredible job. An example of that would be Scott Singer Cruises. I think Scott's got a new camera that he's trying out, but he can do incredible things with just a GoPro. We end up having audio issues with this, so we only use it for certain things. It's really good for wide angles. It's good for underwater, sports, all kinds of activities. Okay, cool. I love it. So that was your number one. What's your number two?
Okay, the number 2 is an all-time favorite. It's the RAV Power File Hub.
Okay.
But it's even more than just a file hub.
Can I have it and I'll show it to them while you
Yes, you
talk
can
about
have
it? Okay, this is the RAV Power File Hub, guys. This does amazing things that I can't even talk about because I'm not that smart.
Now, I've got it attached to a hard drive there, but it's the
okay.
black thing on top of the blue thing.
Okay.
And that's one of the good things about it is I can load up that blue hard drive with movies and pictures and even use it as a backup. But that RAV Power is the hub to everything. Like when I come back from an excursion, I back up all my photos and all my videos, and I do it via that RAV Power travel hub. It has a built-in card reader. It streams media. It's just an all-around good device, and it's relatively inexpensive. I think right now it's under 30, right around 30.
This guy's under 30 bucks. That's really good. So this is the hard drive, right?
Yeah,
Right here. So this is a My Passport Ultra, you guys. This
hard
is
drive
the
is
hard drive is a My Passport Ultra, and this one is a RAV Power, which you've heard us talk about before. We reviewed this on our cruise channel. Yes, definitely. I can't imagine life without this, by the way. And you guys, when my husband said he loads movies onto this, he really does. He loads movies onto it so we can watch them on the iPad at night. And it's awesome. It's like having our own little personal movie theater. Okay, what's your number 3? Ah, the iPad. Hubby's iPad. There it is. So what do you use this for on a cruise, my dear?
Movies, reviewing the photos. It's, obviously everyone knows the iPad, but it's extremely handy, and I would have a really hard time if I didn't take it.
Okay, sounds good. And it's beautiful. I love the rose gold color. My husband actually didn't want the rose gold color, but he wanted this particular model with this amount of storage, and that's all they had, and we needed it quite quickly, so he ended up with rose gold, and I'm not complaining. Nice one. I like that one. All right, what do you have next?
Okay, so the
Oh,
next one.
Jelly Bean wants to know how many gigs on that hard drive. I'm so sorry. Do you know how many gigs on the hard drive?
I think I split the difference and got the 128. It's
Okay.
it's not the top end, but I find I back things up so quickly and take them off that I don't need to max out the storage.
Okay, cool. So did you hear that okay? Jelly Bean 811? Okay, awesome.
All right.
Shailene and Kurt have a funny comment, though, I have to tell you. Shailene and Kurt Vlog said, just please, don't be one of those people that takes photos and videos with the iPad. I'll get carpal tunnel if I do that. I see people holding those things up all the time, and I'm like, how on earth do you do that? So no, we are not those people. I just use my iPhone. And we do have a DSLR that we love, but it's bulky, it's heavy, and these days the iPhones take amazing photos. They even have depth of field of a high-end camera, so I personally love them. Paula says, what a techie you are, honey. I love it. Okay, what do we have next?
All right, so number four is the Key 60-watt USB charger. Now, I don't really think it matters what brand you get, but I really find them indispensable on a cruise. There's just so many things that are charged by USB that you really have to have something like this.
Cool. So good old-fashioned USB charger, you guys. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ports in it. And then, so where do you plug this in? You plug it into a power source, right?
Yeah.
Just a regular power source?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
either straight into the wall outlet, or if we take an extra power supply, we'll plug it into that. Okay,
sounds good. So you guys, this saves so much counter space when you can plug all your USB stuff into this, and this is plugged into your power source. Cannot say enough about this. Okay, you have one more for me? Just one more?
Actually, I'm going to sneak in 2 more.
You are going to sneak into, oh, hubby's got top 6.
So,
okay.
The number 5 one is this low pro bag, and it's sitting right there.
The low pro bag? Oh, can I grab it?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to take my microphone with me, you guys. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, I got my mic. Okay, so this is your low pro backpack. Yes, I love this thing.
And the funny thing about this is I bought it out of like a bargain bin, and it was super cheap. It couldn't have been more than $20, which is ridiculously cheap. And so ever since I bought it, I've been thinking I need to get a better one.
Yeah.
I've probably had it for 12, 15 years now, and I bought tons of backpacks, and I keep coming back to this one because it does everything I need.
And this is for equipment, gear, laptop, computers. So obviously when we sail, you guys, we can't fit all this stuff in the safe. So my husband will keep it with him. He's like, it's on the body security. So it even has some cool space on the back that you can put stuff. So what's this right here, honey?
That's just a GoPro mount, and I bought that separately.
Okay, cool. So GoPro mount. This is a good one. This one you totally surprised me with. I did not see that coming. Okay, cool. So the low pro backpack. Do we have any of these in our gear store or no? Probably not.
I don't even think you can get those anymore. But you know, just a good camera bag, I think, is you got to have one. I mean, if you're like me and you like to take video and photos and stuff. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So Shailene and Kurt Vlog said, I just wish cruises would let me take the drone on cruises so I could use it in port. Okay, so Shailene and Kurt, we're hearing really mixed reviews about this, right? And we're actually going back and forth right now about buying a drone and taking it to Alaska with us. But Princess seems to have a policy that you can't take them, but Carnival seems to say that you can, and that they confiscate it and give it back to you at port. So we're really confused about drone policies right now. We'll let you know if we end up being permitted to take it. The funny thing about the drones is that we got permission to use them in some of the ports. We already got in contact with 2 different locations in Alaska to see if we could film using a drone in Alaska to bring you guys something new and different. But we're so worried that the cruise line is going to make it difficult that we're not sure, but we're going to keep you guys posted on that. I'm really fascinated about it. Let's see here. Montana Grizz fan says Low Pro makes the best camera bags. They have a Low Pro 450 Pro Tac from China for $96 that sells in the USA for $244. That's a really good deal. Yeah, this was definitely something that we got at a camera store. I'm quite sure we probably got it at some specialty. It was like in the clearance bin, and like I said, since I paid so little for it, I've had like a negative attitude about it. But I'm finally getting over that after 12 to 15 years of use. It's like, okay, this is my bag.
Exactly. Caleb Parker wants to know where we can get links to find these items. What would you like to do about that?
Well, you really can't get that one. I would just look for something from Low Pro.
What about the rest? All the other items? He's talking about everything. Can we put these in the note in the comments below, or do you want to put them in the Amazon Marketplace?
I think they're already there. The things that are available are there. But I want to stress that some things like the USB charger, I really don't think the brand matters. So just look for, a good 40, 60 watt USB charger.
Okay.
Obviously if it gets really bad reviews, then don't get it. But the majority of them are around $20 to $30, and they're probably made by the same manufacturer and just rebranded.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put everything that we possibly can in the store. Most of it is there. Like my husband just said, USB charger, you can get them anywhere. It doesn't matter what brand you get, but I know some of the stuff is already in there. I know the RAV power is in there, and I know the USB hub is in there. And I'll look for a couple of low pro backpacks on Amazon and see if they have them. And if they look solid, we'll put them in there for you. So that will be CruiseTipsTV.com/marketplace. Give us a couple days and we'll do what we can. Sound good?
Yeah, and I watch this stuff all the time. So if they go on sale or a lightning deal, I immediately put a link out.
Okay. Becky says she's seeing a low pro on Amazon for $70. That's awesome. We're going to check into that. Okay. Mark has a question that I think you need to answer. Just curious, how many SD cards do you travel with usually?
Too many.
Too many?
Yeah, I always buy way too many, and I buy, as large as I can afford, because they're cheap now. And who wants to get into a situation where you can't get a video, you can't get a photo because you're out of space?
Yeah, you're getting lots of props in the chat here, honey. People are glad they can hear you. Definitely. I'm glad the mic is working. We actually had issues with the mic yesterday. When we were doing the other live stream on our other channel, the audio just cut out completely. So thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. Kyle Smith says we should get the new DJI Spark drone. It's very small, just pack in your camera bag. Yes, Kyle, we are obsessed with the Spark. My husband and I love it. We watch videos every night on the Spark. That's the one we want. And it's so inexpensive, right? Like it's the coolest thing ever. It's zippy, it's fast, it's tiny. So I mean, this is just really hard because I really don't think Princess is gonna let us take that puppy on board, but we're gonna try to get in touch with the powers that be. But my husband and I are really cautious people. We're not really all that excited to try to break the rules because it creates stress. And it's our family vacation and we don't wanna create stress. We wanna bring you guys drone footage, but it might be better to bring you drone footage not from our cruises and maybe other places. So. Okay, Trista has a question. Me and my sister are in a room by ourselves. I was wondering what I should bring for the room that my parents might bring that we should probably bring. What do you mean? Trista, do you mean like special stuff for your room? I need to think about that for a minute. That's a cool question. You guys could get magnetic whiteboards maybe to put on your doors so you could leave each other notes. That would be kind of fun. Bring some magnets for the walls so you can hang your sweaters and your purses and your lanyards and your hats and everything up there. But I'll think about that and see if I can find any other good ones. Yes, my husband said we've got a question. Go for it.
No, it's not a question. I just saw something that's the good information from Montana Grizz fan. Absolutely, it is the card speed.
Okay.
And I do look and see what the manufacturer of whatever the device is, what they recommend. So I look and see what GoPro recommends. I look and see what Nikon recommends in terms of the SD card. I always make sure that it's an approved card and that it's top speed, because I've had cards stop. When the GoPro first came out, I had all kinds of problems because I tried to buy cheap cards and it was, don't try to
buy cheap. Okay, so don't cheap out on your cards. Okay, cool. Caleb, no, I have not seen Pick Your Plum today. I've never heard that. So tons of cruise-related gear, luggage tag, snorkel mask. That is awesome. Montana Grizz fan said they called Princess No Way on the drone. They'll confiscate it. Thank you very much for letting me know about that. I really appreciate it. Yes, it is a liability issue. I totally get it.
That's what I've been seeing too. I was actually I had the Spark in my shopping cart, and at the last minute we found that information and went, well, this is just a waste now. We pulled it out of the shopping cart. So true. Okay, Teresa Gregory has a question. Going on a 15-day Hawaiian cruise in April 2019. I'm partially wheelchair bound. Any ideas for wheelchair friendly excursions? Yes, Teresa, there will definitely be wheelchair friendly excursions. I do believe that on those 15-night Hawaii trips that there's a lot of tender ports. So what I would recommend that you do
is when you get on the ship, I want you to go straight to the shore excursion desk and get their advice. They really are knowledgeable about mobility issues and they can help you out. Of course, you are going to be able to research this beforehand as well by going directly onto the cruise line's website, looking at the shore excursions page, and they will explain the mobility issues to you, but really it's okay to do it when you get on the ship. I think that's probably a good thing. Okay. SMCS 902 says, do you use an app to stream movies from your hard drive to your iPad?
I do.
Okay.
I use something called File Browser.
File Browser, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that do the same thing. I would just look for good reviews, but that's kind of the one that I picked out in the beginning, and it's worked, and it keeps getting better. It's File Browser.
It's just File Browser. I have it on my phone too, and it's just simple to find. Okay, so I see a question coming in here that says, when I'm at an all-inclusive resort, I can bring my own mug to have them fill up with the beverages for me. Can I do this on a cruise with the unlimited drink package? SB, I think what you have to do is they're probably going to give you your drink in a cup, and you're going to have to pour it in for sanitary reasons. I know that you can go up to the lemonade machines, the water machines, the iced tea machines, and fill your own cups, but I think at the bar that they're going to ask you to pour it in yourself. Hi, Jackie. Welcome. Great to see you. Mike and Cheryl said it's martini time on the East Coast. I know. And Mike and Cheryl, I'm drinking my LaCroix because I still have a full day ahead of me, so no martini for me yet. Kelly said, what are the max depths on average for carnival pools? Kelly, I don't think they're very deep. I think probably 6 feet is the max. But if anybody else knows the depths of the carnival pools, please let us know. Wesley Christie said they think it's 8 feet. Okay, Wesley, thank you for that. Okay. All right, guys, let's see. We've got a lot of questions that we want to get to today from our subscribers. So let's see if we can't help these folks out. Sam is going to Alaska and Princess on their first cruise, trying to plan shore excursions, but is a little confused on the port times. It says in Ketchikan, we arrive there at 7 a.m. and depart at 1:15. So does that mean we can get off the ship right at 7 a.m.? Or the ship is docking and tying ropes at 7:15 a.m. And does 1:15 mean we have to be on board by 12:45 to ensure we don't get left behind? Or can I push the limits and plan to be on board by 1:10 and the ship starts preparing for departure at 1:15? Okay, excellent question, Sam. So when it means that the ship arrives at 7, it means that the ship should be docked and you should be able to start the disembarkation process by 7, but you need to remain flexible. What that means is do not book a shore excursion that starts at 7. In fact, I wouldn't book anything before 8 a.m. With regard to the all aboard, back on board time, yes, you're quite right. If 1:15 is the departure time, the all aboard time is going to be a little bit before then. So it might be an hour, it might be a half an hour beforehand. If you're tendering, it's probably going to be a full hour beforehand. But if you are on a port where you can just walk back on the ship, it's usually probably around a half an hour or so. I hope that helps you, Sam. Gary Bellotti has a question here about luggage scanning when you're getting on a ship. Hi, Sherry, just wondering about luggage. When you get to the ship, do they search each and every piece of luggage? How does the process work and how long does it take? They're talking about carry-on bags, you guys. Is it a fast process or does everyone, all 3,000 plus people stand in a line and they go through each piece of carry-on luggage, and then does each individual go through a metal detector? I haven't seen this question addressed. Gary, this is an excellent question. And what happens when you get there is yes, to give you the short answer, yes, everyone does put their carry-on luggage through a luggage scanner just like at the airport, and you do walk through a metal detector. It really doesn't take that terribly long usually. Usually the longer lines are just getting into the initial part. When you first arrive at the port and you need to go up and present your passport and get your sail and sign card or whatever type of card you're getting for whatever cruise line, that process takes a little longer. And just depending on the time you get there, if you're there during the massive crowd time, the second thing that you will do is go through that luggage scanning area so that they can look in your bags and make sure that you haven't put anything prohibited in there, especially alcohol is generally what they're looking for. They're looking for, large bottles of booze. They're looking for 6-packs or 12-packs of beer, stuff you're just not allowed to take. So it's not that long of a process. It's a little bit like an airport, kind of the same process, but probably not quite as cumbersome. We have been curbed to ship on many cruises in less than 30 minutes, if that gives you a general idea. Every single experience is very different too, and there may just be a big delay in that time. Wesley Christie says it's fast like an airport. That it really is a lot like that. Christine wants to know what types of clothes should you bring for an October cruise. Christine, where are you sailing? Let us know, and we'll give you some tips on that. All right, Shailene and Kurt Vlogs, who I know you're on today, thanks for joining us, you guys, said when you go to Billygan's, and this is in Cabo, you guys, we went to a place called Billygan's Island. It's a restaurant on Medano Beach in Cabo. They want to know, did we have to pay extra for the canopy thing, or did it come with the purchase of lunch? I know it's hard to get a good sitting place on busy days. And yes, it's free. At Billygan's, that's one of the reasons we go there. They don't seem to have, during most times, they don't seem to have a food and drink limit or any cost associated with the loungers on the beach or the canopies or the tables. You just go and sit there, and I think there's a good faith understanding that you're going to spend some money. But we usually don't spend more than $40 or $50, and we eat and drink like kings and queens. We usually have a couple of sodas. My husband and son will have a couple of sodas. I usually order a bucket of beer, and I can never finish it, so I end up giving the beer to people sitting next to me, and we really spend very little money. There are places that do have minimums, but Billygan's has never said anything to us. Now, if you guys were to go during spring break, it might be different. They might say something like you have a $65 limit or something like that. And you're right, yes, the vendors were pretty chill. This last time, from what you could see on our vlog, they look more chill than they were. The whole time you're sitting there, they're pretty up in your face. That's one of the reasons we don't sit in the front row lining the beach, because we like to be back a little bit from the vendors, because you'll have someone 3 or 4 times a minute asking you if you want to buy something. It really doesn't bother us anymore, though, because we found that if you don't nibble at all and you really don't make eye contact, they don't bother you. Okay, let's see here. All right, Joanne Grossman says, I must say I never realized the walls on a ship were made of steel. I've cruised over 27 times and this is a real revelation. I have a question. If you use the hooks in the bathroom to hang up your pajamas so they'll be fresh for the next wear, or a cover up for getting ready at night, where would you put the hang up holder for your miscellaneous toiletries or makeup? So Joanne, that's a great question. I actually do that. I actually hang my pajamas on the back of the door, and I actually just hang my toiletries right on top of it. So my pajamas will be behind it, and my toiletry, because it has a hanger, it'll just hang right on top. So I do both. Now the trickier thing is if you put a bathrobe on there. If you put your bathrobe on, then it's more difficult. So if that's a problem, what you would do is, instead of hanging your toiletry bag on the back of your door, hang it on the towel rack on the other side of the bathroom. That's probably what I would suggest. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. Debbie said, hey Sherry, we got back from our first cruise 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to thank you for all your tips. I've been watching you for a year before you went. Thank you, Debbie, and thanks for sticking with us when you get home. A lot of times what happens is we get to know everybody before their cruise, and then we never see them again after their cruise, because they're, they kind of switch modes and move on to other things. So welcome home. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Do you see any other burning questions that I should answer before we do the last question here?
Well, I was typing one in for Halsey Robert.
Okay, Halsey Robert, okay.
Pretty standard. Are there any cruise lines that have less children/families?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just going to say you may want to look at like Holland America.
Holland America and Celebrity are going to have a few less kids. Also, the upscale, more premium lines like Crystal Cruises, Cunard, sometimes Cunard, not always necessarily. Azamara Club Cruises, those are all going to be a little less. But in general, Princess also has fewer sometimes, depending on when you're sailing, much older demographics. So Princess, Celebrity, and Holland America are going to have somewhat less. But again, if you're cruising spring break or summertime on a reasonable itinerary in the Caribbean, they're all going to have kids and families. But you're going to find most of the kids and families are on Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian. Hope that helps you. Okay.
Disney.
Huh?
You said Disney.
Oh, and Disney, duh. Disney, yeah, you're gonna obviously. But what's funny about Disney is that people tell me that they see less kids on Disney than other lines, because the kids are totally into their own thing, and their kids programs are so comprehensive that the kids and adults end up being completely separated, which is really funny. So I think that's a pretty funny thing. Let's see here. All right, we have one more question that came in on YouTube this week that I want to answer for you guys. This is from Bradley C. Bradley says, can I ask, what exactly are you crazy about the platinum for Princess? I look at it and I was largely unimpressed. Am I missing something? I like Norwegian. I am gold, but my parents are platinum, so they get free champagne, free dinners, chocolate-covered strawberries, free laundry, free internet, and early embarkation. Okay, so Bradley is talking about, you guys, the difference between the Norwegian Latitudes program and the Princess Captain Circle program. So, Bradley, I'm going to answer your question first and tell you first what it takes to be platinum on Princess and what it takes to be platinum on NCL. So on platinum, On Princess, you're platinum from your 6th to 15th cruise or 51 to 150 days. When you are platinum at that level, you get priority embarkation and debarkation. You get to make priority dining reservations, meaning they're going to be very likely to give you the table that you want at the time that you want. You're going to get a cruise atlas, and you're going to get a ton of complimentary internet time. So on voyages of 7 days or less, you get 150 free minutes of internet time, and you get 80 to 20 minutes on 80 to 20 day voyages, 250 minutes, and on 21 or more day voyages, you get 500 minutes. The other thing too about Princess, Bradley, that you get is you get a lot of perks that they don't advertise, and every ship is a little bit different, but one of the things that they do for platinum guests and elite guests, the tier up from platinum on Princess, is they have a nightly lounge that you can go before dinner and have free appetizers and reduced price cocktails. For $5, you can have pretty much any drink that you could possibly imagine before dinner, and that is a huge perk. We did that every single night on our Star Princess cruise, and it was wonderful. They also do things very special for you that they just don't tell you about. You're likely to get something delivered to your room throughout the course of the cruise, whether it be fruit, strawberries, canapes. They just tend to surprise you. You're also more likely to get, there's just a lot of other courtesies that kind of come to you that you don't hear about. So just to compare, now what I'm not sure about for your parents, because the Latitude rewards on Norwegian there's so many more levels. So you have your gold level where you are, which is 55 to 79 points. And then you have platinum where your parents are, which is 80 to 174. And then you have platinum plus, which is 175 to 699 points. Now, to compare the two, when you're platinum on Norwegian, you only get, let's see here, you only get about 30 free minutes of internet time. So that's not anywhere near what Princess offers. And it looks like you do get chocolate covered strawberries, you get a behind the scenes ship tour, and you do get some free dining, but you only get 1 free bag of laundry, which Princess doesn't offer free laundry at all, but I think it's less of an issue because Princess has laundromats. They have self-serve laundry, and my recollection of Norwegian is you can't even do your own laundry, so you're kind of forced to pay for it. But I don't know whether your parents are platinum or platinum plus, but it's difficult because it's like comparing apples to oranges because they're just different. You can't really compare them side by side. That's just too difficult to do. But I hope that helps you just a little tiny bit. I think that Norwegian does have a really excellent loyalty program. So with that said, I think your parents are doing great. And if I were you, I'd keep sailing with them. It sounds wonderful to me. But we've really enjoyed the Princess Captain Circle program. So I can imagine we have a lot of different questions coming in here. Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you guys? You know our friends, the Cruise Dudes? They are now, their podcast is now on iHeartRadio, which is a really big deal. So we listen to them on iTunes. But if you have iHeartRadio, you can listen to them there now. It's really exciting. I know we've talked a lot about their Sea Wind magazine before. That's going really well too. We'll be contributing to their next quarterly release of the digital magazine, which is really awesome. We're going to be doing a surprise article there with a cool video, and we'll keep you posted on that when it comes out, but I did want to mention that to you. Let's see what we have here. Emily Baby says, does anyone know how to deal with bad travel agents? Yes, Emily, stop using your bad travel agent. That would be my suggestion to you. Get a new one and watch our last vlog on how to choose a travel agent. We did that last week. Let's see here. Sherry Sandlin says, will you list everything once you put this online? Sherry, list everything of what? Let me know, clarify. Oh, you want the products that my husband mentioned. Yes, we're going to try to do that. Sometimes YouTube doesn't like Amazon links all that much, so we'll do our best to do that, okay? Okay, great. Let's see.
By the way, there was one more thing that I was going to sneak in.
Oh, you have a bonus item?
Bonus
what
item
is it? I want to see.
That I really can't live without.
Oh my gosh, this is funny, you guys. Okay, my husband's non-tech bonus item is his ridiculously radical Maui Jim sunglasses. Were these a Costco find?
Yeah, they were.
They were. Okay, don't you love these? Can I put them on? They don't look good on me, but they look really good on my husband. Yeah, these are amazing. Okay, so funny story, you guys. We went to Cabo on a cruise last August. So that's during the rainy season, and there was a huge storm, and I don't know, we weren't vlogging back then, were we, sweetie? No, we weren't vlogging, but we had this crazy rainstorm on Medano Beach, which is really unusual during the times of year that we normally go, and we were all we had been swimming in the water. We were frolicking in the water, doing our normal thing. And then all of a sudden, this gnarly rainstorm came. So we had been swimming. We had been kind of like, playing in the waves, just kind of free for all. Well, it started thundering and lightning, and we literally had to get out of the water, find our bags, get our bags and cover, and like take shelter because it was dangerous to be anywhere out exposed to the water with thunder and lightning. But when we got back to our water taxi at the end of that day, we realized my husband's white sunglasses were gone. We later discovered through watching our cruise videos that we filmed of ourselves, we saw the moment when he dove underwater with his sunglasses on his head, and they flew off of his head and became a donation to the beautiful beaches of Cabo. It was the funniest thing. So then we couldn't find these for under $300 forever, and we're not gonna spend $300 on a pair of sunglasses, but Costco sells Maui gems. So I would obsessively try to surprise my husband. I would go to Costco, I didn't need anything there, but I would run in, I would look at the sunglass aisle, and finally, one day, I found these beauties, and I think did I bring them home for you? I don't remember. I think I did.
Birthday present.
It was a birthday present. Okay, so these are relatively new because, as you know, my husband's birthday was in May. So anyway, yeah, that's a cool story, and I'm glad that you included the item number 6. That's really special. I think that's awesome. Hi, Bethany. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. Do you know if I'm missing any questions, my friend?
Yes, there are a couple.
Okay, I'm ready.
Trista Tabor, do you have any road trip to port ideas like condensing space in the car or must-have for an easy 8-hour?
Easy 8-hour drive.
I don't know.
That's a really okay. Trista wants to know. Okay, if we have any road trip ideas. So home port to cruise port, 8 hours. How to make things better. Okay, I would say if it were me, I would probably take a little, a car care kit. So I would take some kind of a bag or a box that you have at home, and I would fill it with several different things. First of all, aside from that, make sure that you load your device with some really great music so that you have lots of entertainment on this 8-hour drive. Then in your little care kit, I would take some those like almost like baby wipes, antibacterial wipes, the wet kind. Get a tub of wet wipes. Take a roll of paper towels. I know it seems ridiculous, but a roll of paper towels can come in handy for so many different things. That is absolutely something that I would totally recommend to you. So get that going. Lots of bottles of water are always a really good idea. I would go to Trader Joe's or someplace like that, and I would load up on snacks. So I would put all those things in your little care kit and keep them easy access and ready to rock and roll. I would always also make sure that you stop and get out of the car and stretch your legs, because I know this sounds really weird, you guys, but you really have to be careful about things like blood clots. I have known people in my life who were very young and tried to make an 8-hour car journey without stopping and had ended up with a blood clot in their lungs. So please be careful. Make sure that you get out and stretch your legs and, take care of your health as well. Obviously get an oil change before you go. Take good care of your car so you don't have any emergencies. It's probably always a good idea. I hope that those are helpful. If anybody else has any cool
I could
tips.
add.
What would you add?
Because honestly, what we try to do is avoid the 8 hours. So what we do is we try and look for someplace cheap to stay to break it up.
Yep.
So we try and find, something like a Motel 6 or something. So
Yep.
you're driving maybe 4 hours one day, or even less on embarkation day. So you drive 6 hours and
Right.
then 2. It's just easier to handle. I know that it adds another expense, but it is easier to handle.
Yep, I totally agree. We do it as often as we can. Now, if we're going on just a 2 or 3 hour drive to a port, it's a little bit different. So movies on the iPad for the car trip. That's great for the passengers. That's awesome. Very, very good.
We had a question from Ms. WW.
Okay.
Her question was, are you going to answer my question from the last vlog? And if you're still out there, go ahead and ask it again, and we can try and answer it.
Okay.
There was also a couple of questions about cheap things to do in the Bahamas.
Okay.
One from Katie Helms, if you're still out there. And Sean Arnold is going on a cruise with his fiance for the first time to the Bahamas, and they would like ideas for lunch.
Oh, okay, fun. That's a really good idea. Okay, so I haven't done a lot in the Bahamas. The only thing my husband and I ever did was go to Atlantis, but we didn't pay once we got inside. We just walked around the property and then walked to a beach nearby. But I want to tell you that Tom and it's a really funny podcast. I think it's called something like The Bahamas Don't Really Suck, or Nassau Doesn't Suck, or something like that. Listen to that podcast and you'll get just dozens of ideas, but don't give up on it. There are cheap things to do. And as far as I know, there are great restaurants there, good jerk chicken, lots of different things. So I think you should definitely look into it. Pam wants to know, ever use social internet for communication with fellow cruisers on Carnival? Yeah, we've used the Carnival Hub app, but usually my husband and I stay together most of the time, so we don't use that too much. But when we went to Alaska with my mom on Princess, we definitely used the Princess at Sea app to communicate with one another, and it was awesome. We would actually text message each other. And my mom, she's really tech savvy, but she doesn't want anything too complicated. She had no problem with the interface. It was great. So I know that we have lots of questions coming in here. Let's see here. Noelle Blair says, are there any good places to hang out and eat in Ensenada, or should we do that on the boat? Noelle, I usually stay on the boat in Ensenada, but I don't really like to encourage people to do that because there are fun things to do in Ensenada, and there is really good food. People sometimes will eat the street food in Ensenada, believe it or not. I will tell you that if I were going to Ensenada for the first time, I would go to La Bufadora, which is the blowhole. As you go there, when you get off the buses, you have to walk through this very long area that has a massive amount of vendors and restaurants and things like that. But there's good food there. There's a taco shop right off the bus that the bus driver will recommend to you that is amazing. And I just recommend you do it for the experience. Just know that there's a lot of very aggressive vendors there at that particular excursion, but it's just the way it is. Just ignore it and deal with it and you'll be okay. Okay, Alice, I've never been to Bermuda, so I'm really not sure about that. But if anybody's been to Bermuda and has some suggestions, that will be terrific. Let's see here. Bonnie said, can I mention the podcast again? I was buffering when I mentioned it. Yes, the podcast I believe that I was referencing when we were buffering is Always Be Booked. That's Tommy Casabona's podcast, and he did a fun one on Nassau called Nassau Doesn't Suck, and had a lot of ideas on things to do in the Bahamas because Nassau has such a bad rep. So I don't know, I don't have that kind of experience. Bradley says, do you feel safe bringing expensive luxury goods to cruise ships? I'm concerned the cleaning staff will steal nice purses. Bradley, you are not going to have issues with the cleaning staff or the stateroom steward stealing things. I do not travel with anything nice, expensive, or luxury. It's not something I own. I don't have nice purses, but I don't think you need to be concerned about that. You need to be way more concerned about port, what happens in ports, depending on where you're going. Yes. Do you have a question for me?
Don't you usually take that big crown with the jewels?
Oh, yes, I do normally take my crown with jewels, but I put that in the safe and leave it there. No, we just don't have that kind of stuff. Of course, we have our camera equipment, which is definitely a concern, but we keep it close to our body or in our safe at all times, so I really don't think you need to be concerned. Let's see here. Okay. Shannon still wants to know, what's the name of the device attached to the portable hard drive? Again, it's called My Passport hard drive. It's like a My Passport Ultra. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our marketplace for you. You're going to take it off? My husband has it Velcroed to the other item. So he's taking the Velcro off. You guys hear that Velcro? That was intense.
Okay. This is what she's asking.
Oh, this is what she's asking. This is the RAV Power. So this is the thing that was attached to the hard drive. And we'll put this in our marketplace, which is cruisetipstv.com/marketplace. We'll make sure that everything we can possibly get in there is in there. Okay, so did Miss W get her question to us yet? Oh, taking mom on first cruise on Carnival Liberty, October 27th to Nassau and Princess Keys. I don't want to overdo it with her. Any advice on what to do, this being her first cruise? Oh, Mrs. WW, in Princess Keys, I have an idea for you. Guess what I'm going to do with my mom when we go there? We are going to rent one of those little cabanas. So they're these little air-conditioned huts. They're not big or fancy, but she could sit in there. There's lounge chairs outside, and she can relax. They can even bring you food. They can bring you drinks, and she'll have more shade and comfort. So I would suggest that you do that on Princess Keys, okay? That's really sweet of you to be concerned about her not overdoing it. I'm concerned with that with my mom too. I want her to have shade, and we want to do fun things, but I want her to have a home base. So I think you should do that. With Nassau with mom, I'm not too sure. So let's see if anybody has suggestions. Let's see here. Okay, I'm getting a lot of comments today on people saying, can you show your whole family? People saying, what does Mr. Cruise Tips TV look like? You know, we show little peeks of them, you guys. If you want to see a little peek of my husband and son, look at our last vlog. You can see them jumping on the beach. You know, it's not like a real close-up. We just don't feel that it's our prerogative or our business to really be putting our son on camera all the time at this very young age. I'm sure at some point in his life he can make that decision, but right now we want to protect him and you know, keep that part of our life private. But you see the back of his head pretty much in every vlog, and you can see little peeks. But thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Hopefully someday we will. Let's see here. Audrey wants to know if puddle jumper floaties for kids are allowed or not. I'm thinking you're meaning, I don't know what a puddle jumper floaty is actually. Is that something you put around their arms, or is it a pool toy? Usually you can take little pool toys and things on cruises. Do you know what a puddle jumper floaty is, honey?
I don't, but
you do?
It has to be little.
It has to be small. Yeah, nothing big. You can't do like a giant raft. But we have seen people have some success before, you guys, with taking little things to put in the pool. You know, like a small type of a flotation device for a child or something like that. Let's see here. All right.
They're the little, it's like the water, it's kind of a chest thing with arms.
Okay, that looks okay to me. I think that, Audrey, the puddle jumper floaties are probably going to be fine. I would take them if I were you. Okay, Miss Emily said, any excursion ideas for Mazatlan? Well, we're bad, Emily. We just go to a resort every time we're in Mazatlan. We take a taxi cab to the El Cid Marina Beach, and we just walk right in and spend the day there. We definitely buy food and drinks, and they never kick us out. There's also El Cid El Moro. Give it a try. Let's see what you think. There's Stone Island and Deer Island are also really fun. We've done both of those things in Mazatlan. Hope that that helps you. All right. Teresa, thank you for your understanding. You're absolutely right. You know, we totally agree. There are a lot of bad people out there. We love our subscribers, and of course, we trust everyone here. It's just, you know, we're completely exposed to the public, so we're trying to be responsible and careful. So thank you so much for your understanding. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Becky said, Princess Alaska recent cruisers, please comment on the food on board. Recent reviews are very sketchy as far as good food. Becky, we'll let you know when we go up there later in the summertime, but I think that you're probably reading reviews that are totally baseless. Princess has excellent food. I've noticed a lot of bad reviews everywhere lately on everything. I feel like people are just writing bad reviews because they're kind of cranky. And food is just so subjective. So
it is really. I think
so
people
subjective.
You know, they have their personal preferences, and
Yeah.
you know, every now and then you can get an off meal or something like that, and that'll just throw off your opinion for the entire cruise.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Let's see here. Another Mazatlan suggestion is coming in from Cheryl. The Athens Spa. Catch a pulmonia to drive around the island. Have them stop at the Cliff Drivers, Golden Zone, and Old Town. Excellent tips, Cheryl. And a pulmonia, everyone, is an open-air taxi, if you're wondering what Cheryl is talking about. Caleb said, we really need to check out Pick Your Plum website. Tons of items. We will look. Thank you so much, Caleb. We're going to check that out, okay? All right, let's see here. So, Montana Grizz fan, you had bad food on Ruby Princess to Alaska. Is that what you're saying, or you're reading reviews? Let me know. Brandy, you're saying that Calico Jack's is good. Is that in Grand Cayman? I think I've heard of that before. Okay. Ginny wants to know if anyone has any overall impressions of Celebrity Solstice to Alaska. Let her know. That would be wonderful. Roxanne said, what do we suggest to do in Grand Cayman? Scuba diving is great in Grand Cayman. Snorkeling is fantastic. You can go to 7 Mile Beach and handle 7 Mile Beach in a lot of different ways. We did a Grand Cayman kind of episode. It was like a vlog with some ideas on 7 Mile Beach a few weeks, maybe a month ago. You can watch that. In Grand Cayman, people go to the turtle farm. They like to go to Hell, where you can get stuff postmarked from Hell, which is really, really funny. So I'm sorry you had horrible food on Ruby Princess. That's not good at all. You'll have to tell me more about that a little bit later. Miss Emily said they were on Ruby in April and the food was good. Tried the main dining room, but the service was slow. The buffet was better. Okay, got it. Justin Harris wants to know what's been our favorite cruise. Justin, our favorite cruises have been our longest cruises. So our 10-night cruises have been amazing for us because as a family, we get to relax more. So our Star Princess cruise to Mexico and the Sea of Cortez was amazing. And all of our Alaska 10-night cruises have been amazing. We also really do love the Caribbean. My husband and I went pre-child. We went on, it was Westerdam or Oosterdam, Holland America. And that was an awesome cruise. We went to, We went to Princess Key, no, not Princess Keys, I'm sorry, Half Moon Key, and we went to St. Martin, and we went to Virgin Gorda as a stop when we went to the British Virgin Islands, and that was just an incredible trip. So lots of them. I don't have a single favorite.
You know, they're all my favorite.
They're all your favorite? Yeah.
The only thing that I can say is just reiterating what you said. The short ones are the ones that I look back and go, that wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Like a 2-day, I mean, if it's all you can
2-day
do, go
cruises
ahead
are
and
no
do
fun.
it. But if you can afford it, try and go for a longer cruise because you really get the full experience. The longer,
It's so
the better.
true. It's so true. Wesley Christie, have we ever rented a villa in Half Moon Key? No, we haven't. We rented a clamshell on Half Moon Key, and that was enough for us. But if I were to go back now that I have a child, or if I was sailing with my mother who's in her 70s, we would probably get a villa. But that island is so incredibly beautiful that just being on the beach is such a treat. It is really one of my favorite places in the world. Half Moon Key, compared to other private islands that I have been to in the Caribbean, is spectacular. We've gone over an hour, you guys, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. Amy Cruise Queen, we are going to Alaska this summer on Princess. Yay, so excited. Let's see here. Let's see, Sandra said, would you ever do vlogs dedicated to each cruise line like on a monthly basis? Meaning, like, could we cruise every month? We couldn't do that with our work schedule. Is that what she means?
No, I don't think that's what she means. I think like we do a vlog specifically about Princess.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have so much to do right now.
I know.
I mean, I would love to do something like that. That's a great idea, but I'm having a hard time keeping up with what we have.
Yeah, we're having a hard time keeping up on editing right now because of our cruise vlogs, but it's a really good idea, and we get all of our ideas from you guys.
It's our real jobs that are taking up all of our time.
Our real jobs are taking up all of our time. Yeah, which is a good thing because you know, we love our real jobs. We love our normal source of income. It's very important to us and very awesome. But yeah, the editing we're behind. But that's a great idea. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Valerie said, what was your favorite thing to do at Half Moon Key? Chilling on the beach at Half Moon Key is idyllic. You just literally walk out in the water. The ship is sort of just floating out in the background. Lay on your back, take photographs, and enjoy. We did do a crazy, crazy wave runner tour together. I'm telling him what you did to me, mister. We did a wave runner tour on the inner lagoon, I guess it is, on Half Moon Key. And this is one of those things where it was a 2-seater. So my husband was driving and I was on the back. Well, the guides were going like 50, 60 miles an hour. At least it felt like that to me. Just flying through the lagoon. Nothing like what you would expect of a cruise line excursion. And we took a corner too hard and I fell off the back of that thing. And my husband had to come around and get me.
Yeah, I felt bad, but I didn't do it on purpose.
He did not do it on purpose. He would never do it on purpose, but I was a little bit, it was a little scary. And we're very high adventure, but I cannot tell you how fast those things were going. So if you're looking for high adventure, do that.
On a related note though, we took a picture of you right after that, and I gotta say it's one of my favorite pictures.
It's one of your favorite pictures.
Yes,
I'm gonna find that picture, you guys, and I'm gonna post it on Facebook. But I have to warn you, I look a lot younger. It was like 12 years ago, and I was really tan. That was kind of cute. So anyway, it's kind of fun. But anyway, you guys, we need to wrap up here because we have been going for over an hour. I think that Wesley Christie wants to know how to enter the live chat early. I don't know. I think you just jump in and start typing Wesley Christie and see how it works. I think that's probably an easy thing to do. Dawn's Family Vacations is giving you some kudos on the voice off screen. Yes, I know you were one of the people who said, get a mic. The added peripheral has been a little bit challenging and scary for us because it created a big issue yesterday on our live stream, and it has its own battery, and it's been tough.
Well, it's just another can of worms because when you think about it, you think, oh, just add another mic. What's a big deal? But it's not just a mic. You have to add in like a mixer, and you have to add in a power supply for that mixer, and then batteries for the extra mic, and it just goes on and on. And you have to make sure you don't get all your wires crossing over each other. But let's not talk about that. You know, before we go, I do want to thank everyone who bought a t-shirt. I was really surprised because I didn't think that people were going to be that interested in it, but a lot of you out there bought them, so thank you so much.
Yes, I would like to say thank you too. I really appreciate that. Oh, and do you guys want to see our t-shirts? I completely forgot. We ordered a couple of them ourselves. My son's little t-shirt came in, and this is a size 8 in the I spent my money on cruises. We don't know why our son chose this design, but this is what a size 8 kids looks like in black. Are we gonna see your t-shirt, honey? Okay, my husband's gonna try to come around and show you his t-shirt. You're probably gonna see his tushy as well. Come on around, honey. Okay, he's coming in. Can you see? Come on in. Okay, so this is the front of his shirt. This is the gray. This is a men's large, you guys. As you can see, this is a pretty premium fit. It's not a baggy t-shirt, so show them the back. All right, here it is. So this is the large men's heather gray. It's a pretty nice, can I look at your tag for a second? Everybody keeps asking me if these are 100% cotton, and they vary. They all really vary. Okay, this is 65% cotton, 35% poly, and it's a really nice fit. So anyway, thank you, sweetie. Good job. So that's theirs. And then my t-shirt, let me show it to you really quickly. This is a medium women's, and usually, you guys, I am a small. So if you are on the fence about your size, I would size up in the women's, but this is mine. It's a little bit wrinkly because I wore it a little bit this week, but this is the front, Yumi, and the high C's, and this is the back of this design. And all of these are on our new merch website, which is cruisetipstv.com/merch. So cruisetipstv/merch. We do appreciate it. If you like them, let us know. If you have issues with them, let us know. We are actually really frustrated that we cannot ship outside of the United States and Canada. So we're looking into Zazzle and Spreadshirt right now. The problem is those are more expensive, but they offer tons of great products, all kinds of them. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Caleb wants to know if we have a next live stream date yet. You know what? Probably 2 Saturdays from now, Caleb. Let's just say we're going to shoot for 2 Saturdays from now. So what would that be? I have to think about it. It's probably July 4th, the weekend before July 4th, right? We're going to try to shoot for every other Saturday at noon. So let's just say that that's our tentative plan for right now. Follow us on social media, Cruise Tips TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and sometimes Pinterest, but I really don't spend that much time there. We will announce it like crazy, so be sure you follow us there. If you guys have t-shirt pictures, send them to me preferably on Facebook, and I will post your picture of your t-shirt on Facebook with your permission. We really want to see you guys wearing them, especially on a cruise. Honey, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Well, I also wanted to add that we've been fooling around with live streams on Cruise Gear, which is our other channel. So we've just been kind of popping in and out. So if you want to get on a maybe a less crowded live stream, just watch, subscribe to Cruise Gear and then check the bell and you'll be notified. And usually there's probably half the people, so you might have a better chance of getting your question answered.
Very, very good point. Thank you so much. And thank you, hubby, for helping out on the mic today. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love all of you too. If you enjoyed our live stream today, listen to Dawn's Family Vacations and give us a thumbs up. We so do appreciate all of you. And until next time, until our next live stream, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruiser of the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe.